Hey, this is Politics for Laura. Oh, it's getting real in Central America, not real in the way that you think. It's getting real because now the influence of China and Russia is starting to make its influence felt within Central and South America. Now, Honduras had had an embassy in Taiwan. I didn't know that. You learn something new every day. Now, Honduras decided to cut ties with Taiwan. They didn't see a benefit. Hondurans received nothing out of Taiwan. It didn't make any sense. They're like, done. But they opened up an embassy in China. Ooh, this is going to be real interesting. Not only did Honduras open up an embassy in China, but they also signed with BRICS. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And this right here is an economical forum to where other nations are signing with BRICS to get from U.S. influence to where the U.S. can punish countries by starving them out through economical sanctions. Guess what, U.S.? People are getting tired of being bullied and to submit to what you believe they should be and what form of democracy they should have. That is arrogance, and it's always pride before the fall. And the U.S. is falling like a hot potato, and it's getting ready to splat. It is what it is, but let's go ahead and hurry and get to the article because I found this quite interesting. Honduras opens embassy in China after breaking ties with Taiwan. Taiwan, you messed up. All right. In Beijing, Honduras opened an embassy in Beijing on Saturday. Chinese state media reported months after the Central American nation broke off relations with Taiwan to establish diplomatic ties with China. And this right here is June 11th. This happened today. All right. China's foreign minister, Qin Gang, this happens to be a gang, and his Honduran counterpartners, Enrique Reina, took part in an inaugural of the embassy on Sunday morning. China's official CCTV said the report. Honduras still needs to determine the embassy's permanent location and would increase its number of staff. Wow. That right there is really interesting and amazing. Quinn pledged that China would establish new model with Honduras of friendly cooperation between countries with different sizes and systems, according to a statement from China's foreign minister. The symbol of the two sides' strengthened diplomatic ties came during Honduran President Xiomara Castro's 6 days visit in China. Honduras established formal relations with China in March, became the latest in a string of countries to break diplomatic ties with Taiwan. China sees self-governed Taiwan as a breakaway province to be retaken by force if necessary, and prohibits its own diplomatic partners from having formal ties with Taipei. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. The island also faces increasing military threats from Beijing. Its defense ministry on Sunday reported that 10 Chinese warplanes crossed the median line of the Taiwan Strait, and an official boundary once tactically accepted by both sides. In response, Taiwan deployed aircraft naval vessels and inland-based missile system. Taiwan, that's not smart. Castro arrived in Shanghai on Friday on her first visit since the administration of relations during her stay in Shanghai. She visited the headquarters of the new diplomatic bank, a bank established by the BRICS nation, which includes Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Honduras requested admission to the bank. Castro's office tweeted Saturday. The BRICS nations is a bank between the countries involved. And when Joe Biden decided to sanction Russian waters, the BRICS nations were able to assist Russian waters through trade and other means. Now, it seems like that countries are starting to drop the dollar, dropping it like a bad habit. You can't run around and bully people anymore because that status is up. You overplayed yourself and never paid to be a bully. The president also visited a research center for technology giant Huawei before arriving in Beijing on Saturday night, Chinese official Global Times newspaper reported. The ties formed in March were a diplomatic victory for China amid heightened tensions between Beijing and the United States, including China's increasing assertiveness towards Taiwan, and it signed China's growing influence in Latin America. Most definitely. China and Taiwan have been locked in a battle for diplomatic recognition since they split amid civil war in 1949, with Beijing spending billions to win recognition for its one China policy. Now, this is going to be one of those real tough ones because it seems like no matter which way you go, it's going to be difficult. Now, the U.S. is losing influence, big time influence. And now, by losing an influence, now people are no longer afraid of the United States. Now, the United States was the big bully, and you pull the curtain, all of a sudden you see this little small man pulling levers. So, now I said in a previous video how the United States or the Democratic Party is trying to start a New Deal, New Americas by adding the Central and South American countries, and the headquarters will be in Miami. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how it turns out. Not only that, but the financial burden is going to be on the United States taxpayers, because these countries are having a hard time economically and they are developing countries. So it's going to be quite interesting. Now, if more countries leave the United States influence, they're going to be going to China. But I find that quite interesting. There's just a lot going on, and this rabbit hole is getting deeper and deeper. Just when I think I scratched the surface, no, I haven't even scratched. But tell me, what do you think about Honduras opening up a an embassy in China? Now, do you think Hondurians are going to move to China? Quite interesting. Let's see how that works out.